Great, excited for some Overwatch and excited for some of these picks. You know, nothing set in stone, but it looks like some crazy shenanigans might be happening here.
Well, right now we are looking at this defense coming up from the side of Faze, and that is the one and only Torbjorn, which admittedly they still could run back and change it, but I would be more than happy to see him come out here. And this is a little bit different than what we saw in the last series, where both teams were very willing to run the 4-tank meta, but here, a little bit of a change-up coming in from Faze.
Yeah, and a lot of flex options for Faze. You see Zoms back on that DPS position. You're actually throwing Shadowburn on D.Va. And Too Easy on a tank as well. So Zoms traditionally, who's playing off tank, is actually going to go back to what he was originally playing in Overwatch with that Soldier. It looks like we're going to get a little spicy action, and Torb's actually going to be in on this game.
Meanwhile, we take a look here at the side of Team Liquid. They are running with what we saw in the last series. It is a Reinhardt, D.Va, Roadhog front line supported by Azaria. Going to be very tanky, looking to break the opposing Reinhardt shield and just power their way through this defense. But we'll see how this works out right now as both teams dancing around looking for that good position. It's going to be Team Liquid coming in through the back alley.
Yeah, and that Ana grenade just going to hold them off for a little bit longer. I don't think they quite spotted where that turret is, and they're going to run into it very soon here. It's going to be in a great position right behind them, actually. He's going to do a lot of damage to clear it out, but there's a ton of action and a great charge so far.
Rafa going deep in, and Rezar are going to be punished immediately here. Both teams getting into it as Faze right now, the Torbjorn defense right out. They get the first two pickoffs, and now Team Liquid gonna have to fall back a bit. It's too easy with hook after hook, able to set the stage early on. So that's gonna be a good, quick defense here from the side of Faze. And I gotta say, Huck, do you think that Team Liquid is even expecting to see this coming in?
No, I honestly don't. I think so far every team is expecting the 4-tank. So this is interesting to see, and hopefully teams will continue to adapt as time goes on. I mean, both teams are about to have that Nano boost going into this, so let's see how they use it. I expect both Reinhardts to get it, to be honest.
Both Reinhardts could be going full Rock'em Sock'em robots here, as here comes Team Liquid just rolling onto a point, and that's exactly what's going to happen. Both Reinhardts fighting each other in the back to start things out, but Shadowburn gets to the back, is able to take down Mezar early on this fight, and for Faze, they're able to bend back. They don't break here just yet, and BZK not able to get the hooks he's looking for early on, and that's it. Team Liquid is out. They are backing out once more, and now Huck, look at the big ultimate advantage coming up here from Faze, where they've been playing this very well thus far.
Yeah, honestly, I would like to see them burn the Too Easy ult first, and there's only 2 minutes left, so they could actually full hold here if they have that ult economy that we are looking for from these pro players.
All right, next fight here is underway. Faze looking to maintain control on first. Mezar already down early on this fight.
Oh,
and again,
Tor's so brave. He's got so much armor, he's not worried about a thing.
Forsaken looking for a little bit more, does finally go down, but this has been good trade-outs here from the side of Faze. They're pushing Team Liquid back once more. Team Liquid not going to be able to win this fight. And now minute 45 left, Team Liquid has to be worried about the prospect of getting held here on first. They haven't been able to break through, and the Torb has actually been a problem for them.
Yeah, for the first time, though, they will have that ult advantage. It's going to be 4 against... I mean, they traded ults there. It was 2 for 4, and now they're going to have an ult advantage for the next fight. It's going to be interesting if we see any swaps here. I mean, Winston traditionally being very strong on this map, but now with the 4-tank, it seems like most teams kind of want to stick, and actually, we might see a Tracer. He looks like he's going to actually go back and switch again and say, you know what? We're gonna stay to what the meta is. We're feeling comfortable here. Let's just stick what we're used to. And it'd be interesting to see if Faze actually going to hold the high ground. It looks like we're going to get a switch off of that Torb. Makes sense. And I don't know. I mean, traditionally, I feel like the 4 tanks have been winning, but Zoms on that Soldier. Soldier also getting a big buff.
Zoms right now just playing to the rooftops right now, trying to stay out of sight. It's going to be Rafa deep diving content, but while that's going on, the self-destruct in the back, taking down 2. And again, Team Liquid going to find themselves in full retreat. A big problem here for Team Liquid, I feel like, Huck, has been, in most of these fights, they're not getting the first pick off. Yeah. They're always trying to fight 5v6 in the latter parts of the fight, and it's really not working out.
Yeah, Too Easy's been doing a great job, to be honest, on that Roadhog. He's constantly getting hooks. If he's not getting the kills, he's putting in his team in the position.
All right, well, Team Liquid moving in once more. They don't have a whole lot of resources go through here, but maybe they can make a good jump rush.
Great.
Mezar, though, with the early pin on the Fact or Fiction, sets up Rafa to 65, and here comes Faze. They're going to have to burn every ult in their chest right now to try and pull this back. Zoms with Attack Visor onto ID, cleaning things up, and Faze starting to get whittled down here. Will the self-destruct be a miracle? It will not. But they have done enough to at least poke down Faze and push it back, so they're getting payload progress, even as they do lose players.
Yeah, Too Easy showing up really big here. Zoms, you saw him with that nano boost. He was not afraid. He was in the face of all those big tanks, and they're going to actually fend them off again. Faze actually coming out very strong here. I feel like they have a great match on their hands, and Liquid, they got to be a little worried here. Nothing that they seem to be doing here is working. I don't know if they are thinking about switching up that composition, maybe trying out that Tracer, but something has to change here.
Well, the issue for Liquid right now is that they have to win 2 fights to take second right now, and that's going to take up about all the time they have left. So it is do or die for every fight for them here on out. Here comes ID. Graviton at the ready. Diving behind that shield, looking for it. Pulls in 3. We'll see if the follow is there, but it's a nice counter. Earthshatter coming from Factor Fiction as Faze withstands. Mezar, though, drops the hammer, moving in, and does get the kills that Team Liquid was looking for there. They will win this fight, Huck, but they still have to win 1 more to take second.
Yeah, it seems like the analysts really, put emphasis on that tank versus tank battle, Mezar versus Factor Fiction. So far, to be honest, it seems like when they do win fights, it's on the back of Mezar to a certain degree. Either he's nano boosting and winning the charge battle, or he's just cleaning up and hitting better Earthshatter. So far, Mezar is showing up big for his team, and it seems to be the Too Easy show versus Mezar so far.
Does seem to be the case, and right now this is going to be do or die here for Team Liquid. They must win this fight or it'll be all but over as Mezar dives in deep, going for Too Easy, trying to get rid of the problem, but Too Easy gets burst healed by Ana. It's not going to be enough though. 4 kills for Team Liquid before it's all said and done, and Faze looking like they could have had that hold on second, Huck, but it's not going to happen. And they're going to have to reset for last.
Yeah, Mezar was really low. Despite getting nano boosted, he actually got anti-healed. He was down to 70 HP or so. And that's gotta hurt, you see Faze putting all their attention on him, he's in their faces, they burn him down, but they don't finish off that kill. And then in the meanwhile, Team Liquid just teeing off on them and they have no pressure on their backline. So great job by him, really getting in their faces and being a sacrifice, but actually staying alive and then...
And for Team Liquid right now, what they really have to look for is that they have to hold or win the next 2 fights. If they lose a single fight here, it's going to be very rough. And they are going at an ult disadvantage. Too Easy with the early pick up from Mezar. And now here comes Faze. They're going to be more aggressive off that early pick. Dive right in. But here's the important thing right now, Huck. They're saving a whole lot of their ultimate Zombs. Didn't have to blow Tac Visor. Factor Fiction held on to the Earthshatter. So they win this fight. They push Team Liquid back. And now they're going to have those resources for what could be the definitive fight.
Yeah, no big mistakes as far as ult management. I liked ACK's position there. He was on the rafters and the back line, but he couldn't really finish off any kill. Now it's going to get a little sloppy here. It feels like they're pressuring a little too much, but the time is ticking. 40 seconds left on clock. Like you said, do or die.
And here comes Zero Factor Fiction, knocks down to Hang to set up the fight for Faze. 2 quick kills. Team Liquid struggling to stay in here. Graviton comes in lane the fight. Down Men, but not down Hope. Trying to make it happen, but Faze able to withstand this, even if they trade out a little bit here, Huck. You take a look at this, they're going to have respawns come in to stall this out. Only 20 seconds remain for Team Liquid to look for a miracle.
Yeah, and Factor Fiction trying to get in his face. He kills Rafa, cleans him up, but they're going to have to regroup, and realistically, this is it. 10 seconds to go. You got to touch that card. You got to do it before your team can back you up, and it looks like Faze is going to be in position. This is going to be the last fight, and they really need to finish this point.
And the Sound Barrier coming up online just in time. Faze is going to be able to open up this fight with this if they want. And now they're just backing up. They're giving Team Liquid room right here. They're not challenging the nano boost. Now they pop the Sound Barrier and they go right in. They feel they have an edge. Minstrel gets the Sound Barrier late into the fight. Will be saving Team Liquid here as both sides looking for that all-important first pick as Shadowburn will fall. Team Liquid looking for a hope and a prayer right now, and they might just get it. They still have all 6 alive as they push onto this cart. And for Faze, they're just trying to hang in there as Factor Fiction gets nano boost, hopping on to the payload, and does find Rafa towards the very end, and that lets him drop the hammer.
Yeah, and this fight's so extended. I mean, it's going back and forth. I think it's about even. The unfortunate part is I actually think Faze is closer. Respawn point. Now OT's ticking down. They got to keep touching the card. We don't want to see any big mistakes. Looks like it's going to run out. And yes, Faze do hold them on that final point.
And that is a big, big hold for Faze towards the end. Now, of course, we'll have to see what Faze does on their attacking round. But for them, they don't have to worry about things like time bank anymore. All they need to do is push that cart just a little bit further than Team Liquid did. And Team Liquid, I think, has to be happy with at least getting that, because there were points where they were on the verge of getting held at first, on the verge of getting held at second.
Yep.
At some point, it's just, all right, we at least got it this far. We can work with this. It's not ideal, but it's a lot better than if Faze had pulled off the great defense a little bit earlier in the map.
Yeah, I want to give kudos to Minstrel there on that last fight. He got the first 2 kills for his team, actually. And as a Lucio player, you don't see that too often. We're not sure, how much damage was actually put in there, but anything can help. And to be honest, I almost feel like Faze has a huge advantage here to a certain degree, because that is the defensive advantage. You know what you have to do, right? You can strategize around just, okay, guys, it doesn't matter how late we do it, as long as we finish this map, that's a win.
Absolutely, and for Team Liquid right now, there's certainly a lot of pressure on them where maybe one of their best chances of winning this is getting the first point hold. You don't see it happen too often here on Hollywood, but for them, they're not really going for anything too much in the way of change-ups, with one exception. AZK will not be on a Roadhog this time. He's leaving that to ID. There will not be a defensive Zarya. Instead, there's going to be a defensive 76. And what you can expect here from AZK is that he will be perching up in the cafe, most likely, and just laying in damage in the phase as they try and commit. However, from the Faze side of things,
I mean, don't look yet. Don't look. That is a lie. I mean, they're a versatile team, but not that versatile.
As far as that goes, I'm not really expecting too easy or Torbjorn, but I do think the Genji could be a thing here.
Yes.
Faze has run very powerful dive comps in the past, even though that's been out of vogue recently. They still could go with that, and Shadowburn, to this point, not swapping off the Genji, could be seeing a D.Va Genji double dive right in the AZK's face, and it's difficult to survive that as a soldier. Especially
Shadowburn. I mean, this is the guy, you know, the Genji legend. The solo only plays Genji, locks it every time, doesn't let anybody else pick it. I mean, they were scrimming backstage, he was playing Genji, so I expect he's going to be very comfortable again.
All right, well, here comes Faze in on their first push. Got to be feeling comfortable with the amount of time that they have. We'll see just where Shadowburn and Zombs goes. They have now noticed that AZK is up in the back line. He's not in the cafe, so he's staying a little bit further back. And now the question is, when will they dive in?
Yes.
He's got to think it's going to be soon.
Yeah, that's basically what's being told here. They're calming, they're saying, you know what, they have the range advantage, we got to get in there at some point. When's that point going to be? And actually, Too Easy getting a great hook there. Almost going down, it looks like he is going to go down ID. Going down a man, and it looks like Faze has the advantage. You can see that they're in their faces. Shadowburn deep in the back line, doing a lot of damage. Zombs backing him up, doing a great job. Shadowburn with the 4K, just blowing up Team Liquid. And that's a very quick first point.
We like to talk about heroes that are great at collecting garbage in the game.
Yes.
Where once you have an advantage, they get pick after pick after pick. While Shadowburn on Genji, one of the best garbage men in the business, they got the first pick off, and that gave him so much space to dive in the back line. Picks up another, gets another dash reset, and gets Faze started off on the right foot. And now the trouble is going to continue here for Team Liquid here, Huck, because you take a look at Shadowburn. He's going to have Dragon Blade up in this next fight with a nano boost.
Oh man, it's going to be brutal. And this is exactly what you don't want to see. The Roadhog sleeping on the job there. He's going to have to get up. They're just pushing the cart. I think they feel very comfortable. Too Easy once again initiating with that hook. And ID goes down first again. Shadowburn going to go in there. He's bladed up. He's blue. He's shiny. He's holographic. 2 kills for him. And Mezzer, they're just falling apart. AZK doesn't have the room he needs to do the damage. Factor Fiction getting in on the action as well. And that's a wipe again.
And for Faze, this is going to let them keep the momentum going even further. And even still, the main ultimates used there were Dragon Blade and Nano Boost. They have everything else up. Team Liquid going to have to win a disadvantaged fight coming up here soon if they want to hold anything here in second. Easier said than done.
Yeah, they got to watch out for Too Easy's hooks, to be honest. That seems like the main initiation point where he says, you know what, we have to engage here. Get in my face.
All right, next fight about to be underway right now. A lot up for Faze. They're going to open things up with the self-destruct into the back line. Doesn't get what they're looking for immediately, but does open things wide up. Team Liquid has to spread out, and Faze taking advantage of that. But Rafa, the counter in the back line, going to take down 2 immediately. So for Team Liquid there, they bent back. They were able to come back in off that initiation, and Faze perhaps thought they had a little bit more off the D.Va than they really did.
Yeah, I mean, Zombs did a great job there. You could see that they were stuck in that building. They were stuck in that choke. Zom was zoning 2 or 3 of them, but meanwhile, they made some great plays. You know, they got the pins, they got the nano boost, and to be honest, Mezzer is always a force to be reckoned with. And now it's kind of evened up. You can see that there's not too many ults on either side, but Liquid will have the advantage in this next fight.
And the key there is going to be the sound barrier, where even if Shadowburn gets an early blade and goes to the back, he's going to have to deal with the beat that Minstrel is going to be dropping. So not the easiest task for Shadowburn. He certainly has won more disadvantaged fights in the past, but Liquid working with the Bivin edge.
Great position too. Look at this. He's on the jailhouse. He has a Lucio supporting him just in case, and it looks like he's going to pop that aim bot. He's going to do a lot of damage, but Zom's doing a great job zoning, dematrixing, soaking in a lot of the damage.
A raw nano or tactical visor like that can definitely not do well for your team. However, you take a look at Team Liquid, they are able to get back in. Shadowburn goes with the nano blade, gets absolutely nothing, trying to look for carnage in the pub. Not happening. Instead, it's Rafa gangs the back, taking down 2. It's a little bit of a bloody fight towards the very end as Factor Fiction picks up 2, but it's not going to be enough. And this is very much in Liquid's favor. Yeah,
great job by them. I mean, it feels like they're positioning, their shot calling, knowing where they have to retreat. It's like a 1-2 punch. Half of them pull back, the other half push in, and they're getting on that back line of Faze. And Faze is having a lot of trouble coordinating what they're going to do after that initial engagement.
They absolutely are. And again, Take a look at Team Liquid's defense right now. They will have a nano boost and Earth Shatter at the rate for the next fight. Faze pretty much bone dry, or they were up to a moment ago. Zombs and Factor Fiction coming up online, so it's going to be relatively minimal outwise, but here comes Zombs, opening up the self-destruct, looking for anything in the back. A little bit too telegraphed, though. Doesn't get anything, and a big counter Earth Shatter coming in from Mezar. Knocks down 3 and sets up Team Liquid the roll right in.
Yeah, I feel like that was kind of a waste too. I mean, traditionally, that's the 1-2 combo. You have the Earth Shatter, you can do the Diva ult, you can pin the enemy Reinhardt. We didn't see that. I'm quite not sure what happened there with Faze. He did use the Earth Shatter, but I don't think he got anything from it.
And the problem for Faze here is that they're using their ultimates in fights that they're not winning. They're trading up 2 ults for 2 ults, and they're not getting anything done. So it's not like they're building any sort of big reserve here where they can eventually go, all right, we know we're going to have an advantage. They're trying to win every fight, which tactically isn't necessarily the greatest, especially when they had such a big time advantage.
Yeah, I'm not sure how they're going to have to do this. It looks like we're going to get Raucous Nano Boost coming up, and Shadowburn's actually going to switch. He's on that Zarya now. They're going to the 4 tank. They're having a lot of trouble in the second point. You can see the advantage here. AZK on this rooftop, and with the Lucio, the Diva support, no one's going to be able to force him out just yet, and he's going to actually target down. He almost gets Forsaken. Very close. The Diva's trying to zone him out. He's moving back to the card, getting help from his team, and it looks like they're going to do a great job of zoning. Rafa gets 1 pick, 5v6. It looks like Faze is going to have to regroup here, losing another one as well.
Well, for Faze, things are going from bad to worse. There's still a moment here where if they were to win one major team fight, they'd probably be able to push this all the way to the second. But now their window for that is closing dramatically. The next fight, effectively a must-win for them. They will have a slight advantage going in. They will have the sound barrier versus not sound barrier, but if Team Liquid is able to pull back, they might be able to just come back here with the counter engage and do this. And Rafa's been huge on Diva.
Oh, flanking Earth Shatter. Here's a flanking Earth Shatter. Let's see if he can set it up. No, it looks like he's going to get back into position. Scary moment. They must have spotted him out. His shield's about to go down, though. He's going to be in a lot of trouble here. He does get back, get some help from his team. It's a long fight.
And now the Earth Shatter comes in from Mezar, knocks down 3, dives right in. They deal with Faze's early initiation right now. Both teams still 6v6, so it is a bit of a slobber knocker down there. This is still a fight that Faze must win. AZK going to the back line. Is going to have to back out, but as ID takes down Shadowburn, it's now a 6v5, and things are looking pretty good here for Team Liquid as they're stalling Faze out. Faze has no choice but to stay in this.
Oh, and he's dodging, he's dancing around these killers. Too easy goes for the hook. It looks like he's going to hit him. It's not going to be enough. Lucio Barrier going to help him a lot. He's on 4 HP. Can he make it out? Oh, no, he gets taken off for a second. This is a very close fight. As you said, a must-win for Faze. Will it be enough? Factor Fiction going to be at 1/3 HP, keeping his shield up, but they don't have the damage, I think.
No, they don't, and right now, Faze struggling for life right now, having to deal with Team Liquid that has an enormous numbers advantage. They have to touch the payload or it's over. They keep it in. Overtime is still in progress here, but ID being surgical on that hog takes down Too Easy, looking for more. Faze struggling, fighting. Will it be enough? It will not. Team Liquid going to push them off the point here, and Hollywood will go their way.
Wow, what a comeback, to be honest. I was not expecting that to happen.
No, not at all, and Team Liquid is a case where they lost first pretty quickly and then came up with a defense on second that Faze is not able to deal with. And I think part of it too is just in their defensive positioning, Too Easy was not getting the hooks he was looking for through a lot of that. And when they weren't getting the early picks to start the fight, Team Liquid was playing much better. Faze will edge us out. I don't even think it's going to be from Shadowburn and Diva versus Diva play versus Rafa. I think Zombs is the X factor here, where Zombs plays a very good Zarya and might be able to get the better of ID. So we'll see how this works down as the first fight is underway.
Yeah, and they're going to get a great Ana grenade actually there. Rocket's starting off really well on that Ana, damaging so many of those players, and they're going to dive in and they're going to lose that Diva mech, which actually is a big deal, but they have to engage. Because they have that soldier, you see him just shooting at them across the map. A great hook, once again, Too Easy setting him off straight. He's going to get that Mezar deep into the line, but they can't finish him off. A little bit of lack of focus, I think.
Well, the thing is for Faze here, even though they did break the mech early on, they're really conceding a lot of control on the point, and Team Liquid fighting it off pretty aggressively here. AZK in the back line does have to deal with Shadowburn in his face, has to back out. Now what's going on? Mezar goes down, so now the bleeding can begin here. Faze picking up the first 2 kills. Team Liquid, they know when they're done and dusted, they are going to be backing up and conceding this first point. Very methodical though by both teams. There wasn't really picked there for quite a while.
Yeah, the young kid Zombs, you saw him on that energy. We talked about that, Zarya. He was 90% for most of that fight. I mean, he's doing a great job. And Shadowburn actually going to be on the little baby Diva shooting. It's a little pea shooter on that right side, trying to get back to Mama Bear. Not quite sure she's going to get it in time. She's at 80%. That mech being so important for this next fight. It looks like Faze is going to have quite an advantage, though.
Well, the key here is between Zombs and ID. Zombs has a Graviton up. ID only at 75%. Zombs will have this window to land a big Graviton to end this fight before it even begins. Nanobu's coming in from Raucus early on onto the Rhine. But Mazar finding two early on. The Graviton comes in late, and they're not going to get much from it. Kind of a misplay coming out here from Faze as Team Liquid striking immediately back.
You saw Factor Fiction getting that very early nano boost and then just playing back. He charged at the very end on that Zarya ult, but he didn't hit anything. I think he got one swing there at best.
Yeah, and as a result now, the momentum has completely shifted. That was a fight that by all rights, Faze had a big edge in. They don't take the fight. Team Liquid now is going to have the edge for the next fight, so what a big swing in the fate of this match right now. As you take a look at ID right now, just going to be creeping here with the Zarya looking for that big Graviton. He dives in the back, and there it is. Group hug treatment as Team Liquid just collapses.
Yeah, he just puts his gun on the ground and says, you know what, Demon, you're not going to have a chance to eat this one, but it's actually going 2 for 2. We got a 4v4 here. It's getting a little sloppy, and DeHang looks like he's going to go down. Shadowborn doing a great job finding those targets, finding those supports, clearing them out. A great charge there, too. Factor Fiction going to pop this D.Va, and it looks like it's going to swing back into Faze's favor.
Interesting enough, I feel like Team Liquid was a little bit too conservative there with their ult economy. They figured, all right, we just got huge Graviton, we don't need to throw in the Earth Shatter, which they had. They could have thrown more into that, and they said, you know what, we're not going to do that. Unfortunately for them, they misjudged that a little bit, end up losing the fight, and now they're going to have to come into a fight that's a little bit more even. However, Sound Barrier will give them a bit of initiation advantage. Faze going to have to be very careful as it starts out.
Great block there on that Earth Shatter. Mezzer not getting much of all. He's going to have a little bit more HP. He's going to get a great charge here and a great bubble to protect him. It looks like it's getting a little sloppy. Mezzer gets 1 kill, Factor Fiction going down. They don't have a shield anymore, and that actually means a lot, especially going against that soldier. Zombs diving back in. They want to keep this point for as long as possible, even if they're going to lose this fight, and they know they're going to lose this fight. They get the soldier ult. I'm not quite sure if that was needed, to be honest.
I completely agree with you. I don't think it was really needed at all. They had already had 2 down before they popped the attack visor, and okay, Team Liquid takes the fight going in here, and now they have to win about the next 3 fights. But the attack visor would be pretty useful there, especially if they had the 6-4 advanced strike in here. But here's a difference here for Faze. Faze isn't going to have a whole lot going to this next fight either. They're going to have to stall out for a little bit, wait for Zombs to build the Graviton, and try and capitalize off that. And support-wise, Team Liquid won't actually be able to defend a great Graviton that well, so a lot up to Zombs here as he goes in and looks for that opportunity.
Yeah, and at the same time, ID on the other side, he's at 87. 92, it's 91 against 92. These Zarya is going to be battling off here. Who can do a better job of getting that Graviton? Who can go more people in there? Factor Fiction going to have to defend Mezzer. He's light, he's shiny, he's in that deep line. D.Va's ult's going to come out. It's not going to get much, I think. Zom has his Graviton. Will he pull the trigger? They're up 2. I don't think he should. He's probably going to hold on to it. Great choice there, and it looks like they're going to win this fight, and they didn't use that much either.
That is really, really good for Faze that they didn't have to blow the Graviton to get that. And good judgment by Zombs. You saw, okay, we got the first 2 pickoffs. We're going to hold on to this, and now everything going to come down here to the next fight. If Team Liquid wins it, that's going to be it. They will almost certainly take the round. Meanwhile, from Faze, they're in the same boat. So we'll see how this works out. For Faze, though, they have the sound barrier, which Team Liquid does not have. They can advance the Faze here as they go in here, unless ID can just initiate with a really, really good Graviton, but Zombs can be looking for the same thing.
Yeah, and he puts it on the pillar, he gets 2 or 3, it looks like, and gets the Zarya. Can they clean that Zarya up before she gets the chance to use that ult? It doesn't look like it. We're in OT, 99 against 88%. Liquid gonna have a 1-man advantage here so far. He's on top of DeHang, though. They're really focusing him down. Shadowborn doing a great job. Doesn't look like he's going to be able to clean him, and it looks like they're actually going to hold this off. Mezzer on the ground. Can they clean up Shadowborn not having that mech? He's not going to be able to get the damage needed. Mezzer cleans up Factor Fiction. They have a 2 or 3-man advantage. It looks like they're going to flip this.
This is looking very good for Team Liquid. They get the sound barrier lane to the fight. The problem for Faze is that they were a little bit late on their own sound barrier. They used it after 2 people are down, and you just cannot make mistakes like that. Team Liquid going to be retaking control at this point, and now the question for Faze, can they go for the overtime miracle? Most of their players back in spawn. Team Liquid 5% away. This is going to be a do-or-die moment for Faze where they have to throw caution to the end and hope for a miracle.
And Mezzer pins Factor Fiction again. They can't touch the point in. That is it. Close match. Extremely close. I just want to give kudos to ID at the end there. He actually died. We saw him die. He used the Graviton. Very important that he got that off before he died, but then he also was intelligent enough to switch to Tracer, come back and help his team as soon as possible.
Absolutely, and the key thing there for ID too is that he had to have a quick trigger on that Graviton, and because he had that quick Graviton, they were able to get the 2 pickoffs before the sound barrier hit, and that gave them the key edge in that fight. If ID was perhaps looking for something a little bit more greedy, maybe he ends up throwing it out after the sound barrier is already out, or maybe Lucio is just looking for it a little bit more intently, fight probably doesn't go anywhere near as well. So for Team Liquid, they're They were able to take a fight where they were starting out at kind of a rough edge, and it really did come down to ID finding that moment with a great initiation.
Yeah, it seems like Shadowburn a lot of times is like prioritizing the hang a lot. We see that a lot. He's diving deep, but they do a great job of protecting him. They keep having Mezzer come back and just throw a shield up or push that D.Va off with that hammer.
All right, first fight of the well stage going to be underway. Rock is taking out Zahang in an Ana v Ana slugfest here. 6v5 here from Faze. And Team Liquid gonna have to try and win this down a whole lot of healing. They might just back out early on. That is a tough road to go down as they're down 2.
Yeah, the support's showing big. Shadowburn getting 2 more as well, Forsaken getting 1, and this is gonna be a clean fight. Genji, he's back, boys. No more tank, no more D.Va. He's gonna get on that backline no matter what you say. Reinhardt be damned.
And honestly, I wish more teams would come out with this and play to their strengths. Right, I mean, we've seen the power of specialist heroes, even going back to DreamHack with what Soon was able to do in that meta. Shadowburn is such a good Genji that I think he defies meta-related stuff.
Who cares? He's like Poke. You're like, I don't care. Maybe you can play something else, but let's just put him on Genji.
All right, well, next fight can be underway here. Team Liquid moving in, looking for opportunity. They have to get a quick strike or ultimates will come in from Faze. And what better pick can you get than that? AZK sending Ana to an early grave, and Huck, this is looking good for Team Liquid.
Yeah, and that really came down to the Ana grenade, I feel like. That was a great Ana grenade from Dahang. He brought the team down, and they couldn't get heals, and then they just cleaned it up. I mean, both supports. We saw Raucus winning that battle in the last fight, and now Dahang hitting that grenade completely turned that fight. And you know, once you hit 5 or 6 people with grenade, it's almost go time no matter what. I don't care if you have a soldier, I don't care if you can play long distance, just dive in.
So now we have a really key matchup here. Mezzer is holding on to the Earth Shatter. He could ruin Shadowburn's day as he comes in with the Nano Visor. So this is the key matchup here. Reinhardt versus Genji.
And they don't have the Zarya to shield him either, so yeah, he's very vulnerable.
All right, Shadowburn does go into backline, did not get the Nano Visor, tried to just kind of YOLO it, does pick off 1, however, but what an Earth Shatter coming in from Factor Fiction. Who needs a Genji when you drop the hammer like that?
Yeah, they were all lined up so perfectly. That was shish kebab, man. They were just on a skewer, and he just came through, cut them up. Maybe they're thinking about it intelligently, you know? They say, like, sometimes we invest too much, we can't really protect that Genji with a Zarya bubble. Just pop your ult, we'll hold back the Nano Burst, or do vice versa.
Looking into this next fight, Zoms will have that Graviton up in a moment. Not gonna have it up very immediately here, so the timing of this fight going to be very crucial for both teams. I don't know if Team Liquid's gonna give Zoms a chance to get that Graviton up. Rafa diving in deep to the back line, that self-destruct, and for now, looking for the distract as the front line goes in. Yeah,
and Rock is getting stuck out there. I don't know if he's gonna go down. It looks like he does go down to Mezzer. 2 for 2, a 4v4. It looks like Faze has a slight advantage. 1 man, too easy, trying to get his health back. We see the break it down on Lucio, and a great, to be honest, a great ultimate. I don't know if they can clean them up, though. It looks like he's gonna pull 1, and Rafa getting 3 kills there, 2 with a huge bomb.
The bomb combo off the Graviton, keeping Team Liquid in this fight, and this is really a must-win fight.
But it's ticking. Like, they've held on. They're gonna die. They're probably gonna lose this, but to be honest, they're doing a great job. Factor Fiction on the very edge.
Right, but here's the thing for Faze. Here comes the Nano Visor. Shadowburn looking for the cleanup, has gone back into the fight. This is where Team Liquid needs to just hold for a little bit longer. Oh no! The Earth Shatter! Trying to knock him into pit. Down he goes! This is Overwatch as Team Liquid retakes it. Oh, what? There's Forsaken with the boop.
Yeah, and he gets the boop, clears ACK, and I don't know, it's really sloppy. 99 to 35%. Liquid can't give this up. A great hook on Mitchell. Great bubble in return, and it's very close still.
Forsaken, the Tank Slayer! 2 boops into the pit as Faze pulls this right back. Oh my goodness!
Yeah, and the support, it's really showing the tail of this fight, of this map. Right now, he's trying to hold on. Mezzer cannot get up this point. This Lucio never gonna win this fight. I'm sorry, you can believe, but you cannot boop that Genji, boy.
Minstrel going the Forsaken, anything you can do, I can do better. It doesn't quite get the boops to start things off here, but Team Liquid do or die. We're in overtime right now. They have to find a way to bring this back. AZK taking out Jabber and Mezzer going to fall, and Team Liquid does flip this back in. This is very good for them.
I would love to see Faze just needs to back out, right? You got time. It's 99 to 41%. That fight was very extended. I feel like the rushing things here, I don't think this is necessary. They can pull back and get a clean fight, but I mean, they're wasting stuff. They just lost the Zoms, and then they pull the ult out. I don't know. I don't agree with it.
For Faze, they could play this a little bit more cerebrally than they are right now. They can just know the position that they're in, as you're alluding to here, but they will sound better for the next fight. Minstrel going to have one as well, so both teams might be dropping the beat. This fight for Faze, not the end of the world if they don't win it, but they're going to be in a very poor position if they don't. We'll see if Team Liquid can win this very crucial fight as Rafa opens things up with a bang.
Yeah, and it looks like Shadowburn's getting closer and closer to that ult. He's going to get on AZK, he's going to battle him 1v1, 2v1. That D.Va turns on him, he's going to run, soak up a little bit more HP. Reinhardt also getting a health pack. Them looking for heals, and it looks like another death.
Faze now backs against the wall, and here's the thing that makes it even worse for them. As they went in, they weren't able to bait Minstrel into using his sound barrier. Yep. They will not have that edge going in the next fight. It's going to be barrier versus barrier, and Shadowburn is going to have to make the difference. Baby Zombs get the Graviton up mid-fight, but this is must-win for Faze. Here comes the
and the too easy on the Tracer. He's going to go for it. He's going to get in the back line. He's going to go for Minstrel. Looks like he's going to cut him up. No, he actually goes down. Mezzer turning, getting that Flame Strike to hang, running for his life. Too easy on the back line. Very sloppy fight. It looks like he's going to get Minstrel again. Minstrel being a huge target, but they can't get him. This Lucio's so slippery. Finally goes down. The hang in trouble as well. I don't know. This is so close, CP. It's 99 versus 99. Can they do it? Faze get 3 kills. Looks like they're going to push him back. They're very aggressive now. They're saying, you know what, ID, you ain't touching nothing. Get off it. And Faze, bring it back.
Faze able to get back on the very final fight, but Team Liquid, as it was a great comeback from them on that round, almost bringing back after what was a pretty rough start. And interesting back and forth by both teams. Yes. Both teams having some great moments, both teams having some not so great moments in terms of ult usage, but very close nonetheless. And I gotta say, just in terms of turning a key fight around in the middle, Forsaken with taking out 2 boops, to take out 2 otherwise pretty beefy tanks, very, very important there. And hey, that's why they call it the well.
I mean, I want to give credit where it's due, and the supports on both sides. Both Anna's also getting a lot of kills, getting a lot of great grenades. I mean, Shadowburn, of course, you expect him to do well, right? But you do not expect to see 2 boops on Ilios. That's some pub star stuff happen.
Sometimes the stars align and great things happen, but here we are heading into the next stage here on Ilios. Too easy once more here on the Roadhog. Roadhog going to be played by AZK, so a little bit more standard coming out here from both teams. Shield battle underway between both Reinhardt's. Mezhar, though, finds Raucus early on, and Faze can be without a bit of healing, but doesn't seem to bother them. Having the Reinhardt still up seeming to matter just a little bit more.
Yeah, they're going to be up 1 person here. Team Liquid's going to say, you know what? Maybe we should just give this up. We don't want to tango just yet. We're not going to give you an advantage more than you need. No ultimates up just yet. You generally seek the Annas to get that nano boost first of all, but you can actually see that Mezzer is quite high up there. Too easy as well. They're all about 60, 65% so far, and it's going to be very important for this next fight. Whoa, that Reinhardt coming for Too Easy. Too Easy going low. It's going to heal up quite a bit, and Mezzer being extremely aggressive.
Mezhar being very aggressive, but does take Too Easy out of the fight for a while. Does leave AZK with room to work. Raucus is down. There's going to be a healing advantage here from Team Liquid as Faze tries to pull this back. 5v5 right now, but without on his healing, things go from bad to worse as Too Easy tries to bring it back. Does send Roadhog right up
hook, but it did not work.
Oh my goodness.
And he's actually going to get 2 or 3. Rafa ends up dying there too, and it looks like Faze with some very stellar star power. I mean, those were big plays from them.
It was very big plays, and a lot of it came down to Too Easy with just an excellent whole hog towards the very end, because usually you lose your Ana that much in that fight. Yeah, that early, and then you're not really able to sustain. It took a hero play, like sending some heroes off the edge from Too Easy there to pull that back. Faze in a very good position right now, 50% to 0. Team Liquid struggling to pull it back.
Yeah, and another great hook. You can see that Zarya being so low already. Half HP is going for it. You want to clean him up. Hang going to keep him up. Meanwhile, Shadowburn getting 2 big kills, and Team Liquid's already down. They're down 3 now. And not only that, Faze, they're not really using that many ults.
No, Faze is able to just withstand there. They get the first few early pickoffs. They can hold off for the rest. And now Team Liquid stuck in a very unenviable position. Next fight, effectively a must-win for them. They will have 3 ults, but they're going to be heading into the shredder of Graviton, Nano, Boost, and Sound Barrier. They won't have a Sound Barrier of their own to start this fight, so there's going to be a window here for Faze to really put it in their favor. But the early pickup of the Zombs will stop that early Graviton.
Yeah, it looks like he's going to hold on to a little bit longer. He's not in a position. Team Liquid, knowing that they have it up, is spreading quite a bit. ID is going to be out of position. You might have to dodge that Graviton, but at the same time, you're forcing yourself very thin, having to spread out so far, making it very hard for your supports to heal you up. He's going to pull it now. I don't think it's really necessary, but hey, they say, you know what? 97%. We can burn everything at this point. That was only 2 or 3 fights, and it was just over.
Team Liquid just wasn't able to get anything going there, and they never had a fight where they had a clear ult advantage. Really, the fight they should have taken was the fight where they got the early pick on the Ana. They were winning the tank war, and then what happens? You see Too Easy just throw people off into the ocean. And again, that's sort of the heart of Too Easy. Some rounds he will win for you and have a huge game. Some games he's a little bit more invisible, but definitely a good round for Too Easy.
Hey, showing up today, that's all that matters, right? So far, so good. I mean, this was the map that Liquid did win, so they have a good shot here. I'm really curious what Faze are saying. I mean, the big X factor here, the only difference is AZK on that Soldier. He kind of provides that distance, that range, and he forces Faze to come through that pit, and that's not somewhere you want to be. You're fighting up high ground with the Soldier just constantly shelling down on you.